All right, so we are finishing up our unit on the power of flowers and life science. Remember, we have done 4 different lessons, we have taken notes, and we have made our anchor chart together. So our learning target was, let's read it together. Ready, read. I can use models to describe that organisms such as plants and animals have unique and diverse life cycles. All right? The big ideas from my lessons include, I will read, you read the words that are outlined in yellow. Ready? Plants make seeds when their flowers get pollinated. Bees and other animals help move from one flower to another. Seeds make new plants. We are reading together, so please don't read early. Number 2, plants make, you just read the words outlined, okay? Ready? Plants make sweet fruit to help spread its seeds. Animals eat the fruit and carry the seeds to a new spot. Everything poops. You're going to read the words outlined again. Number 3, big idea. Plants, like all living things, inherit their traits from their parents. Farmers can grow sweet apples by planting only the seeds from sweet apples. This is selection. Number 4, no two are exactly alike. Living things inherit their traits from their parents. Selection is used to change traits over time. All right. After I give this assignment, I'm going to give you a minute. And Ava, would you mind closing our classroom door, please? To look over your notes. Because what you will be doing is creating what's called a one-pager. You get 1 page to give me a lot of information about what we've learned. This will be an assessment, but it's a different kind of assessment. It's letting you use art and words and pictures and illustrations and labels to show what you know. But you don't just get to create whatever art you want. You are going to follow a plan. So everybody is going to get this to look over. This is like your checklist for what I am looking for on your one-pager. So your one-pager must include your name, the date, and the words life science. I need to be able to read it, and it has to be big enough for me to read. Okay. 2, you have to include this statement somewhere on your page. And the statement is, I know all living things have unique life cycles. You need to, somewhere on your one-pager, draw a flower and clearly label its parts. The parts should include the pollen duster, the stigma, and the egg chamber. Okay? You should draw and write about 3 traits of an apple that a farmer can select for. And for this, you should think back to our lesson when we tasted our apples. You should draw the life cycle of an apple tree and answer the question, what is a life cycle? Draw and write about how you could use selection to make a 5-leaf clover, starting with a 3-leaf clover. So if you start with a 3-leaf clover, how could you use selection to eventually create a 5-leaf clover? Lastly, look over your work. Is it neat, colorful, and creative? Have you included all the required parts? Does it look like you took your time? Make sure you are turning in your best effort. You get to use crayons. You get to use markers. You get to use colored pencils. Yes. Let me show you an example that I created at home alone. Now, I am not going to show you this more than one time so you can see. I will show you other examples, and the reason I'm not going to keep this one up is because this kind of has all of the answers to it. But you can see I chose to organize my one-pager as a series of 4 boxes with a center My name is at the top, the date, the words life science. Here are the words all living things have unique life cycles. And then I have used artwork and labels and pictures to show my thinking. Let me show you some examples of other one-pagers, and I'll take your questions in just a second. So this is an example of a one-pager that is a water cycle. So this person has made a picture with some words and vocabulary words. I see here they've drawn a scene and they've labeled the water cycle. Same thing here. They're showing their thinking through words, pictures, illustrations, diagrams, labels. Let me show you one more and then I will take questions. All right, here are some other examples. Somebody has done a one-pager on the great white shark, on energy, on a book called Old Yeller, one on geography, and one on earthquakes. I will leave these up here because you can use your own format, or you can kind of look at this and say, I want mine to be organized like this, or I want mine to be organized in blocks of 4 squares with a circle in the middle. You get to choose. What questions do you have, Marissa? I just answered it. Ava. Can you have a partner? Nope. This is something you're going to do on your own, but can you talk about your ideas at your table?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Kaylee.
How long are we going to work on this?
We're going to start it today and we're going to work on it over several days.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not something you need to finish today, so please take your time. Samir. We're going to do this only at school. This is not a take-home activity. Landon.
Are we allowed to write about cartoons and other stuff?
What would you think the answer to that question would be?
Yes.
Are cartoons on that checklist that I went over?
No.
You could draw cartoons to show your thinking about those things, but if you're putting things that aren't on the checklist on your one-pager, are you following the instructions?
No.
No. Does that answer your question, Landon?
Yes.
Okay. Marissa.
What are we drawing?
I will put the checklist back up because I want you to see exactly what you're drawing. Remember, there are several things that need to go on your one-pager. You need to draw and label a flower. You need to put some traits that you can select for. You need to draw the life cycle of an apple tree. You need to show how you could use selection to turn a 3-leaf clover over time and make a 5-leaf clover. Your name, the date, and life science needs to go on there, and your I know statement. Does this look like I took my time?
Yes.
Is it neat and colorful?
Yes.
Does it show my thinking?
Yes.
Yes, it does. So your one-pager needs to do all of those things. There is also what's called a rubric. Can you say the word rubric?
Rubric.
And a rubric tells you how you can earn a level 4, a level 3, a level 2, or a level 1. All right, so let's look at a level 3 rubric to show what things that you need to do in order to earn a level 3 on this assignment. And everyone's going to get a copy of this rubric before you begin. So, putting a heading and the learning statement, there is really no difference between earning a 3 and a 4, but to earn a level 3, it needs to be neat and easy to see, and the I know statement has to be on there. Drawing the parts of a flower. Student has drawn a flower and correctly labeled each required part. Work is neat. If you do that, you can earn a level 3. Selected traits. Students wrote and drew illustrations to show 3 traits that a farmer can select for. Illustrations are neat and include some creativity.
Oh, yeah.
Put a little bit of yourself in it, right? All right, the life cycle. Students drew a correct representation of the life cycle of an apple tree and correctly answered the question, what is a life cycle? Lastly, applying your learning to a new thing. This is a challenge. Students demonstrated through words or pictures an understanding of how selection could be used to create a 5-leaf clover. What's your question, Hudson?
Can we look at that?
Absolutely. This is up here for you to look at. Now, let me ask you this question, Hudson. If on your one-pager you came up and you looked at this to make sure you understood and you were calibrating your thinking, would you write the exact words on this poster? What would you do?
You would, so you would look at this and kind of like understand it and write your own words.
Explain it in your own.
Explain it in your own words. Can you also use all the notes we've taken over time?
Yes.
Yes, you absolutely can. I'm going to tell you this. You have all the resources required to get a level 3 or 4 on this assignment. All right? Because I want you to be able to really show your creativity, I'm going to give you big paper. What do you think I'm going to suggest that you do before you get a crayon or a marker or a pencil?
Name.
Well, your name is part of your one-pager, and I'll put the one-pagers back up there. Yeah, I would divide up your paper how you want to do it, but are you going to do that with a marker?
No. Pencil.
Oh.
Sketch it out with a marker.
Sketch it out, make it how you want it in pencil before you use something that can't be erased. Colton.
And decide what you're going to do it on.
Well, you're going to use this paper.
I know.
Oh, well, this is all the required things. I'm going to hand out the checklist so you know exactly what you have to put on your one-pager, okay? All right?
Can I put,
These are the things that need to go on your one-pager. So you're going to use this checklist.
oh God, this is going to be hard.
You're going to use this checklist to make sure that you're putting all the parts that are required.
I can't wait.
Because this is like a different kind of test. This is showing me that you understand what we've learned.
It's an art test.
It's not really an art test. I'm not going to grade your art. I'm going to grade, are you neat? And are you putting on here the things that we have talked about? Now, Valerie, since you're new, we can kind of work on this together, okay? Because you weren't here for any of this.
But I am really good at art, so I'll be super.
So you already are ahead of the game. Avery, what question do you have?
Sit back there.
You can move around the classroom, but let me say this. Oh, before you move, please wait.
No balls.
If you are moving to a place where you are off task, I would think very carefully about where you want to be because we have about 20 minutes to work on this today. All right? Any other questions before we get started? Hunter.
When you said markers, are there actually markers?
Yep, there's markers over on the counter here, and they're shared markers, so you're going to make sure that you're sharing them with everybody. Maybe Mrs. Coltis, you could hand every student the checklist. Just a second. And also, last thing, your checklist and rubric are on a 2-sided paper, so one side is the checklist and one side is the rubric.
What's with your stuff?
Yes.
I'll tell you all. Yes.
All right, get started.
I'll move to a different spot. We move to a different
Of course, yeah. You're getting a checklist, right? Okay. Oh, thanks so much. That belongs over here. Alina.
What do we want to name?
Anywhere you want. It just has to look. Your name, the date, and words have to be neat and big enough to read. You can put it anywhere you want on your page, okay?
Wait, do you write it on the back?
Nope, it's got to be somewhere on the front.
Sure that it's neat and big enough for you.
Oh, and you know what, guys? Cole had a great question. He said, do I write my name on the back? What do you think the answer to that is? Nope, your name needs to be clearly written on the front of your paper somewhere. Do you want me to put the examples of the one-pagers back up?
I'm drawing a hammer.
What do you need, Samir?
But we have to share.
I need help trying to make the picture.
Okay, do you want me to divide your paper up for you? Okay, where are you sitting?
Miss Vincent,
Right here?
can we do whatever we want to do?
What would you think the answer to that question would be,
A
Landon?
hammerhead shark?
No.
Are we studying about hammerhead sharks?
No.
What have we studied about?
I don't want it.
Hey, here's a suggestion, bud. Do this today, and then another time we can do one on a hammerhead shark. Today we're doing this assignment. Okay?
I don't.
That's fine, but let's just divide your paper. Show me how you want me to divide it up.
There's a highlighter.
Okay.
No.
Samir, why don't you sit and think about it for a minute, and then I'll come help you. I'm going to talk to Landon. Landon, see all this work that you did over time on this science? See all this work? You should be really proud of this work.
Can I do a pumpkin?
Is that what the assignment's asking? Let's read over let's read it over. Okay, you have to show that you can draw a flower and label the parts. Okay. 3 traits of an apple that a farmer can select for. The life cycle of an apple tree. I think you should get really excited about this. You know why? Because I know you're a great artist and that you can show me what you know. Think how excited Mom will be when she sees that you made a poster that shows everything you know about the life cycle of a plant. Well, we're not doing sharks today, bud. Why don't you read through this on your own? And then if you want me to help you get started by dividing up your paper into sections, and then you can decide which section you want to do first. Okay? You got this. High five. Oh, you can't leave me hanging. High five. Come on, Landon. Come on. Bring it in. Yeah? You don't have to be an artist to do this. Sure you do. Give it a shot. Use a pencil. Use a pencil and give it a shot. How do you think you might want to divide up your paper into 4 sections with a circle in the middle? Can I help you get started like that? What do you think? Want me to borrow your pencil and help you get started? Yes? Look at me. Say yes, please. Okay. So how about we draw a circle in the middle? This. Divide it up into 4 parts. You know what the easiest part to get started on is write this sentence right in this box right here in your neatest handwriting. And then I would like you to raise your hand so I can come look, okay? Okay, awesome. Wow, I like how you're dividing up your papers. Samir, what did you decide? Do you want me to help you divide up your paper?
Yes.
Tell me what your vision is.
In the middle of a circle.
A middle of a circle like this, and then what?
And then 4.
So like this?
I can't write that. I'm writing too big.
I'm gonna get mine. It's too.
Okay. Ooh, I like that you were planning ahead and you thought, I started too big, so I'm going to erase and try it again. Want me to get you one? Here you go. What are you thinking about, Cole?
I'm thinking of how I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I like that you're planning it out and being thoughtful about it. Yeah, part of art is erasing, right? You kind of get an idea and it doesn't work.
I'm putting this right up
I love that. I love that you made a spot for it.
there. I'm in a hole. I also put my name in a little box.
Right on.
I made a hole.
Oh, wow. So you had a really interesting way to make some lines by using folding. Super
That's
cool.
why she said not to use Sharpie.
You know what? If you want to use Sharpie, that's fine. But look what I'm going to give you to help you make sure that you don't get marker on my table. How about that?
Miss Vincent, can you use a ruler to make the lines
Of
straight?
course. Okay, what's going on?
I made a hole right there.
No, I think this looks great. Yeah, perfect. That can just be part of your whole, that makes it unique to Leo. That tells me this is Leo's. Okay? Good job. I like your start. What's this? Can you explain?
This is like the dirt and this is running this good so I can draw pictures in it.
Okay, and do you know what picture you're going to draw first, Leo? Do you want me to talk about it with you? Okay, so your first picture might be drawing a flower, and listen first, label the parts of a flower. Let's take a walk up to our anchor chart.
Can I go to the bathroom?
You may. So, here's a picture of a flower and here's the parts. So, your flower doesn't have to look like this, but it should be a flower and you're going to label the stigma and the pollen dusters, okay? Can you do that? Good job.
Perfect. Keep going.
Oh, wow, that looks like neat printing. Way to go. So proud of you for getting started.
I'm thinking about an animal's life.
All right, what are you guys thinking?
I'm trying to draw a tree. I don't know how.
That actually looks pretty good. I'm still on the middle part. I know that
Thanks for supporting your friend. That was nice. What's your plan?
Oh.
I don't know.
You don't know? You're still thinking about it? Yeah. Sometimes thinking is the most important part. Yes, ma'am.
I know the life cycle, the cycle of an animal or plant, and I'm drawing it.
Oh, is that the sentence you were supposed to write? Well, you might change this into the answer to this question.
Wait, how do you? I need to. Wait, what question?
But be careful to read the directions so that you know what it is you're doing. All right, Valerie. Keep in mind that you can always use the information on the big poster in the front of the room. And if you want questions, you have questions or you want to talk about anything, let me know, okay? I like that you're getting started though and you're just jumping right in.
I need to measure my length of line.
What's your vision, Brianna?
I'm gonna do this like this side, and then like I'm going to be putting like a flower over there, and then like all kinds of other stuff that we've been learning. And in here I'm gonna be writing like something that I need to write in here, and then like I'm gonna decorate it. And
Cool.
signs.
And make sure you're using your checklist. Leo, Thanks for being patient, bud, and waiting your turn. What did you need?
I'm spelling the word
Okay, remember we handed back all of your work here. Maybe you can find that word somewhere in here. Would you want to look and see? These are all your notes. Yes. Sure.
make the flower using pencil first.
What would you think might make you feel more comfortable?
I would probably do crayon first.
Really? Do you feel comfortable drawing a flower with crayon, that you're not going to make a mistake that you want to change?
Well, I already know. I was thinking in my head. I know what I'm doing.
Oh, okay. Well, then go for it. Whose notes are these? Jeffrey. He lost some on the floor here. Nice job, Samir.
Really good.
I'm going to take in my lunch. It's gonna be a colorful one.
How's it going back here, my friend?
Good.
Colt's facts. Trying to get those open. Can I give you a hand? Is that a yes? Maybe I can help you with this. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, it's a magic tiger. Do you know how to smash it?
Ooh, Hunter, I like that you're just really being careful with your lines.
No. He's the one who actually did this.
I think you're right. Did you find it?
And on bottom, my pictures and my labels.
Perfect. Did you find it anywhere in your notes?
No.
Let's see.
But I spelled it.
You did spell it. You went up there and you. I love that you are using all of your resources. Look what I found. Woohoo! It's right on there on your notes. Wow, I love that.
These are the seeds.
Leo. That does say pollen, yes. Thanks for studying what is going to be on there before you get started. That's being thoughtful.
I already wrote my name.
Yeah, it looks great. Nice. Landon, I'm going to give you a goal. Are you ready to hear your goal? Get that writing done before we go to library. Can you do that?
Yeah, I'm just trying to. Are we gonna work on these?
Oh, excuse me, Avery. I'm sorry, you're what?
I'm trying my best to make it very good.
I know, and it looks very good, but if you keep writing that O again and again, are you ever going to get the other letters written?
No.
So just be happy with the O and move on.
Are we gonna work on these a little bit after recess?
Not today because we have reading, but we will work on them tomorrow. Okay?
Hunter's hurting a lot of kids' feelings. He comes up to them and like he did that to something to Colton and Hunter Hudson. He came up to them and they're like, "That looks
Okay,
good, but
so-
I think mine looks better."
Remember how we talked about if there's something happening and you can say,
Stop.
I have a problem that I haven't been able to solve by myself. How did you try to solve the problem?
Oh, I didn't. I just heard about it.
Okay, so did it happen to you? Is it, okay, then is it something Kaylee should be involved in? Okay, so Hudson and Colton, if there's something happening and you have a problem that you haven't been able to solve using Kelso's choices, then you can come and talk to me. Okay?
Do you draw like any flower? Can you draw like
Any flower. Absolutely. This is your piece of art. All right, friends, I know you are super invested in your work, and I am excited about that, but it is time to put this away for a while because we have library and then lunch and recess. So, here is what's going to happen. Let's just leave everything out where we have it right now. And I would like you to please, on my line up quietly with your lunch items that we'll put in the hallway, and then we will walk to the library. You can leave everything out. Just make sure that the lids are put back on the pens. All right? In room 229, we show respect, make good decisions, solve problems.